This is Kathy McAnally. I'm coming to you from Bixby, Oklahoma. Here we are in the end of March in 2020, and it's quarantine time. So we're spending some time at home and staying safe and healthy. And I thought I'd bring to you a video tonight on a different kind of weave structure. I've made a couple of videos, one on rep weave and a couple on overshot, and I thought I'd make one on crackle. Crackle is a fun one, and it's got a different look to it. And I'm going to turn the camera down so that you can see my work and you can see what I'm looking at. So hang on just a minute, let me move the camera. Okay, here we go. I want to first show you a piece that I finished last year, and you can see this in my shop. By the way, I have an Etsy shop. It's called RNR Woven Treasures. And if you want to see the rest of my work, you can look that shop up. Again, that's RNR Woven Treasures. Now this is a crackle weave, and you can see that it has this nice, almost spattered, you know, the lines are not crisp. They're more like, in fact, the name comes from the way stained glass looks. It kind of looks crackled, and so this is kind of reminds you of that stained glass look, and I think this is gorgeous. I really like to use this in table runners and fancy events and gatherings. Also love this in scarves and shawls. In fact, this would make a wonderful scarf, wouldn't it? This one is made in pearl cotton, and it is a really nice table runner. I have another one that we just recently made here, and this one's in bamboo. Bamboo is a much softer, in fact, it's a silk substitute, so this is just, it feels really soft. And has a lovely drape. It's not as crisp and as the other one. And you can also see that this one looks quite a bit different than the first one that I laid up here. And the reason why is because some crackle patterns do not require a tabby and some do. This one required a tabby because you can see that I have used multiple throws of the same shafts, and anytime you do that, you can create a hole in your fabric. And so just like an overshot, you'll need to use a tabby throw. Now a tabby throw is a throw of yarn that's the same size and color as your warp, which in this case you can see that I used a white warp. So my tabby throw is white. My pattern throw is this blue. And what you're going to do is you're going to alternate between the two. And a tabby throw is also a plain weave. So that, for example, if your first tabby throw requires all the even numbered shafts to be raised and the odd numbered shafts are going to be on the bottom, then your next throw would be your pattern throw, and then your next throw would be the opposite tabby throw. So now all your odds would be on top and your evens would be on bottom. So it's either odd and then even and odd and even. And that's what plain weave is. Plain weave is just every other thread is lifted up and then lifted down on the next one. So you just alternate. And that creates a very stable fabric. You won't have any holes. And it'll just be a really nice material. And you can see that this is a pretty nice material. Now, here on my loom, I'm working with a pattern thread that is purple, and of course I've got my white here, and you can see how shiny and silky this looks. That's bamboo. Isn't that fascinating? That's a grass. That's a hard stick. I used to fish with a cane pole. That's a bamboo cane pole right there, and it made this beautiful yarn. I really like bamboo. Bamboo and cotton are my favorite. So anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to throw my first pattern thread Here, I've got to find my petal. Now, I'm working on a countermarch loom. And a countermarch loom is a little different. A countermarch loom raises half of the some of the shafts and lowers some of the shafts. In a regular jack loom, you would just be raising shafts, and the other shafts would remain they'd remain where they are. Now this particular countermarch loom is called a Toyika, that's the brand name. It comes from Finland. It was imported from Finland. I bought it secondhand or third hand, I don't know if it had been previously owned or not. It's a good loom. Very easy to transport, very easy to take apart and move around. There wasn't much to it. The part that is hard about a countermarch loom is getting all the pieces in the right place. And one of the things that I found is that I've had to make some modifications to this loom. And you saw me fiddling around down there for the right petal. The reason why is because this particular loom has a lot of adjustability to it. And one of the things that is bothering me is that the petals will move. They're basically just hanging there on a string, so they move around. So it's hard to tell that I'm on the right petal. Because they don't stay in place, they swing. So I'm having to look down, and you can see that this is slower weaving than my other loom. I have an AVL production loom in there, and it's much faster. Than this one. And there's the tabby thread. Now, if you've been watching, let me show you again in the last throw here. So I go up to the last throw for this direction. There's the pattern thread. And as you see this pattern thread, you can see that in some places, like right here in the middle, do you see how it's not nearly as dense? In other words, not every thread has been raised. It's not just all the evens. In fact, this particular throw is 1, 2, 5, and 6. So 5 and 6 would be together, and so it's not an even throw. So the next one that I need to make is my tabby. Now my tabby is going to be my plain weave, and this one happens to be all the odds. So I'm raising all the odd shafts. So I'm raising every other thread. Now I'm back to the same pattern, the exact same pattern that I raised before. So it makes that line thicker. And then I'm to the opposite. So now I'm lifting evens. So by doing that, I'm getting a cloth that is going to be sturdy. And that's how you do it. You just keep on going. And you can see that it's going to be a nice sturdy fabric. It's going to have that crackly look, that kind of speckles of color here and there. And when you turn these over, it pretty much looks the same on the other side. So this is one side and this is the other. And you can see that the only thing different is that the elements here, which were white with the blue background, over here are blue with the white background. So on one side it has the other. Now if you look at the one that didn't have the tabby throw, you've got white elements on a blue background and white elements on a blue background. So basically this one just has a little different element design to it. You can see the different element design is on this side, and then this is a different element design. So it's kind of nice. You can, these table runners, you know, if you get a stain like some you know, you spill red wine or some kind of a spaghetti sauce or something on it that you can't get out. And, you know, this is pearl cotton, so you could get a lot of stains out. But if you happen to have a mistake and you wash it in hot water, it's probably not going to come out. So you can just turn it over, use the other side. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about crackle weave. And again, if you want to check out my shop, it's RNR Woven Treasures, and that is on Etsy. And you'll be surprised what a hand weaver can do. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to list any comments. I'd like to hear from you if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.